Factsverse presents. This deadly maelstrom lurks off Norway's coast, and it's the world's most powerful whirlpool. The ocean creates waves and currents all the time. At some times of the day, the waves are low, which is called low tide. Other times of the day, the waves are enormous, which is called high tide. The moon has a lot to do with these tides, but there is one place where the water does something absolutely incredible, and it is the only place where something like this occurs. For over 2 millennia, something amazing has been happening off the coast of Norway. 4 times a day, every day, a set of vortexes open up in the waters of Nordland. It is the most powerful occurrence of its kind. About 6 miles from Nordland is a region called Bordeaux. In Bordeaux is a strait called Saltstraumen. It lies between 2 fjords. A fjord is a thin section of water that was formed by a glacier. It's often wedged between 2 cliffs. The fjords in this area are the Saltfjorden and Skurstad. The Saltstraumen Strait is not significant. It's about 2 miles in length, 490 feet wide. What makes it so amazing, though, is not the size. It's the fact that every 6 hours, about 110 billion gallons of water surge through it. This area creates one of the most powerful currents anywhere on Earth. When the water flows in this area, it runs at speeds of about 23 miles per hour. When the water is flowing at its fastest, it can create swirling tunnels in the water. This deadly maelstrom lurks off of Norway's coast and it is the world's most powerful whirlpool. A maelstrom is a type of whirlpool that materializes in the water. Imagine water going down a drain, and when it does, the water circles the bottom of the sink first. Well, that's what a maelstrom is, and it's just a lot more powerful, and they occur in the ocean. Edgar Allan Poe used the term in one of his stories, A Descent into the Maelstrom. The phenomenon is also mentioned in Greek mythology. Whirlpools in the ocean like these have captured the imagination of storytellers for years. They are great sources of destruction in stories. However, they don't pose much of a threat unless you are swimming or sailing in a small craft nearby. The whirlpools off the coast aren't the only ones that exist either. The French Pass is located between 2 main islands in New Zealand. The currents there are so strong they're said to put fish swimming by in a daze. It's also responsible for about 2,000 deaths. One incident occurred when a group of students was on a scuba diving expedition in the area. Some of the students got caught up in the tide and down into the whirlpool. The maelstrom dragged them 292 feet under the water, and many of them died. A group of filmmakers in Scotland decided to explore the potential danger that whirlpools can cause humans. They focused on the Corryvreckan whirlpool, which is one of the biggest whirlpools on Earth. It's believed that the roar of this whirlpool can be heard up to 10 miles away. Since it would be way too dangerous for a human to go into the whirlpool to study it, the filmmakers sent in a dummy wearing a life jacket and a depth-measuring device into the water. It was quickly sucked into the vortex. Later, the dummy showed up on shore. The life jacket was powerless against the whirlpool, and the device the dummy was wearing said it was pulled 860 feet underwater. There's another massive vortex called Old Sow. It got its name because the sound that it makes when it opens up sounds like a pig. It's located between Canada's Deer Island and Moose Island in Maine. The currents there reach up to 18 miles per hour. The Saltstraumen is one of the most powerful of all vortexes on Earth. The strength of the vortex depends on the phase of the moon. The vortex is the most powerful and dangerous during a full moon. If you want to view the vortex while it's in action, it can be pretty difficult to time it correctly. While it's at its strongest during a full moon, the time of day that it occurs fluctuates. And it does happen 4 times a day, but the time is not regular. If you want to get a look at this powerful vortex, you can't do so safely from the water. The best place to see it would be from the edge of nearby land. You can only view the vortex from above, and fortunately you won't need a plane to see it. The Saltstraumen Bridge is located right above the maelstrom, making it the perfect place to view this natural phenomenon. If you want to get a bit closer, some companies offer boat tours that allow you a sea-level perspective of the vortex. But you couldn't pay me enough to do that. Subscribe for more.